Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today we're talking about Pocahontas for the Sega Genesis. I actually don't have a ton of stuff to talk about with this game, for it is fairly short, especially if you know what you're doing or you are abusing save states or rewinds. There are some frustrating and difficult moments that can definitely extend your gameplay time. I don't think that's a good thing though. One of the biggest culprits are the clunky, frustrating platforming. It really does feel like an old PC game, almost like point and click adventure, where Pocahontas is so sluggish and you have to get the hitboxes just perfect in order for her to interact with a ledge and climb up, or if you're swinging from a branch, you have to watch this whole sluggish animation as she climbs up the branch, and then you try to leap off the branch to another branch, and the whole process takes a very long time, and more often than not, she doesn't respond the way that you hope that she would. Now, you are able to toggle between both Pocahontas and her raccoon friend Miko, and Miko's platforming feels a lot more intuitive and quick. However, Miko and Pocahontas both have their own strengths and weaknesses. For instance, Pocahontas can grab onto ledges, whereas Miko cannot. Miko can climb a tree trunk, whereas Pocahontas can swing from tree branches, and so you're consistently going to be toggling between both Miko and Pocahontas in order to work together to navigate across the level. For instance, there are certain little holes that Miko can crawl through, which essentially teleport him to a different location, and Pocahontas can't go through those holes, but she can climb ledges, and so Miko will navigate over to a boulder, push the boulder off the ledge. Now Pocahontas can jump on the boulder and then grab the edge of the cliff. Miko can jump into Pocahontas's arms and then navigate to a higher level than that. Miko cannot go in water, Pocahontas can, and so you're constantly toggling between them in order to get both of them across the level, which also leans a lot more into the more puzzle point and click aspect of the game. It is kind of frustrating though, trying to get both Miko and Pocahontas to the end of the level. There are times when I'm just in full-on Pocahontas mode and I navigate her all the way to the end of the level, only to find that I need Miko for that very last stretch, and then as Pocahontas, I have to go back, do some kind of thing like let Miko jump in my arms to get to a higher platform, and then navigate both to the end level. And so there is a fair amount of backtracking, especially because you really want to keep both Miko and Pocahontas together, because they really do need to interact with each other quite frequently. There are also collectibles that only certain characters can collect. For instance, there are a bunch of berries scattered across the game that only Miko can collect, Pocahontas cannot. What do these berries do? I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I collected a bunch and it didn't seem to heal any kind of hit points. It didn't seem to have a tracker to mark what I've done and when. Maybe it gives me an alternate ending or something like that, but honestly, I don't know. There are also these necklace pieces. There's a lot less of these than there are the Miko berries that I think, if I'm remembering correctly, only Pocahontas can collect these necklace pieces. Miko cannot. I honestly don't know what these do either. Maybe they alternate the ending. But if you are looking to extend your Pocahontas gaming session, then there are these collectibles that you can go for to try and get that 100% completion rate. There are hit points. Really, the only time you're ever going to take any kind of damage is from fall damage. Most other times you're going to be facing some kind of insta-death, where if you jump off a cliff and there's no platform underneath you, it's pretty much just game over. If you encounter one of the European invaders, then they'll just kind of point their gun at you and it will be game over. Luckily, this game is more meant for a younger audience because you have unlimited amounts of continues. The checkpoints themselves are fairly generous, they're not that frustrating. There were some points when I really abused the save state system because the platforming wasn't doing the thing that I wanted it to do, and I just kept jumping off the cliff accidentally. And it was definitely frustrating with the platforming because you jump to a platform and both Miko and Pocahontas would still step forward one or two extra steps, and it was definitely the most frustrating thing about this game are those consistent spots where I would just just die over and over again. And so the save states just helped with me being able to immediately navigate to that really challenging, gimmicky point and trying it over and over again instead of warping all the way back to a checkpoint. Really, the most exciting aspect about this game, I think, are the ability to absorb these animal spirits. So Pocahontas inherently has a couple different things that she can do, but if you help out these animals, then you gain new abilities. So if you help out a deer, you then gain the spear of the deer where you can start running instead of just walking. If you help out the otters, now you can swim in the water. If you help out the owl, now you can see further in the dark. Although I actually didn't see much difference with the owl spirit specifically because I was seeing just fine in the dark before I got the owl spirit. I do think that they could have been maybe a little more creative with these animal spirits. I feel like they could have made them influence the gameplay in a more exciting way than just now you can run, now you can swim. I feel like they could have been a lot more creative in terms of like how these animal spirits affected your gameplay. But it still was exciting, that feeling of, hey, I helped out this baby bear, now I can summon a bear spirit to scare a couple of these European invaders. I think they could have leaned more into the puzzle aspect with these animal spirits if that's the route that they wanted to go. The puzzles themselves never really felt clever or intuitive. They were more time wasters is what it felt like. I never felt relief from solving one of these puzzles because I solved the puzzle using my brain. It was more relief that I am done with the tediousness of walking through these tunnel teleporters as Miko and pushing the boulder off the cliff. Honestly, the thing that I enjoyed most about the game was its source material. If you asked me what grade I would give the movie Pocahontas, it would absolutely be a 5 out of 5. Like, I think that is an absolute Disney gem. If you're asking me what grade I would give Pocahontas the video game, I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5. Like, the only enjoyment I got from this game was the seeing Pocahontas and this world in this 16-bit aesthetic with this crunchy Pocahontas music. That was what brought me the most joy. I loved the references, the visuals, the music. As far as like any of the gameplay goes, I could take it or leave it. Honestly, if this didn't have the source material that it did, I probably wouldn't have finished this game and rolled the credits because it just wasn't fun at all. It was very frustrating. But the parts that did spark joy in me was like, hey, I'm watching Pocahontas and John Smith run across the mountains as like deer are trotting along next to them in these Sega Genesis graphics, and it is actually pretty charming in that way. Like I said earlier, super short game. I think it takes about 1 to 2 hours depending on like how frequently you are using the save states or a rewind, how frequently you are getting stumped by the clunky platforming aspects, or you just feel lost and you don't know where to navigate next. I could see speedrunners clearing this game in, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes tops. So yeah, not exactly my favorite game, but I would love to hear from you. If this is like a game that you played from your childhood, I would love to hear your story and how much you enjoy or don't enjoy this game. Really, like my first exposure to this game was, I feel like one of the Disney movies or several of the Disney movies have an advertisement for like the PC version of this game. That's where I think this game first entered my gaming radar. And so I'm at least glad to know that I have finally played through all of this game. Well, guys, that's it for me. Again, let me know if you have any questions or comments about Pocahontas for the Sega Genesis or the PC version, or I don't think there's a Super Nintendo version, but any version, and I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye!